Hey, what's up everybody, Nexel here. So today we are playing Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, and yet again our inventory is getting pretty stuffed. So we're going to go ahead and do some guilting and trait rolling, and I will try and explain along the way why certain traits are good for certain metals. So our first metal that we are going to trait roll is going to be our KHUX. This metal was really good back in the day because it was an AoE that pretty much did a lot of damage for cheap gauges back when gauges were only refillable by things like Attack Price Plus. So the current trait that I have on this metal is Defense plus 2000. Now that's bad for this because this metal is an attacker. It's meant to deal some damage, so it's not a good trait for it. And at this point, tier 2s, if you can get a lot of tier 2s, or if you are just, somewhat lucky and you have like 18 of the same tier 2, tier 2s are really only good in the meta if you can roll ground defense minus 60 or aerial enemy defense minus 60. So let's go ahead and roll and see if we can get one of those two traits. The reason behind that is because it's hard to roll a bunch of times on tier 3s or tier 4s or tier 5s. So, sleep resist. Nope. It's really hard to roll like for that exact trait on tiers 3, 4, and 5 just because of the infrequency of them. So even a tier 2 with ground enemy defense minus 60 or aerial enemy defense minus 60 could technically, if the enemy was a high enough level, a tier 2 could clock out more damage than a tier 3. And I'll try to make a video posting pretty much some evidence of that. But for now, we're just going to keep rolling. So this is Simba. It is going to be another attack metal. As you can see from the multiplier, it is above 2.5. And it is pretty much meant for damage. It does no buffing. So let's go ahead and try and roll for Simba to get, just like the KHUX, either ground enemy defense minus 60 or aerial enemy defense minus 60. Alright, so let's see what we get. Alright, same guilt roll. Pretty much to be expected. It's only 4 away from max. Okay, extra attack. I always roll extra attack on the wrong metals. It's so unfortunate. So I am going to have to skip extra attack on this one just because, again, it is an attack metal. Having the strength plus 1000 is more important than having an extra attack with it, because the extra attack is 40% power, meaning that if the extra attack is too weak, it's not going to do any damage. So this is another attack metal. This is KH2 Black Coat Riku A, and it currently has strength plus 1000, which is good, but just like the other two, because it is tier 2, there are stronger metals. The best thing to do is try and roll for ground and aerial minus 60 here. Alright, and our roll is ground. Nice. Alright, very good. Very good. Perfect. So now this metal, because it is single target, will do a lot of damage to high enough leveled Heartless. So let's go ahead and replace our strength with that ground enemy defense minus 60. Beautiful. Alright, so on to our next metal. The only reason I am actually just slapping on traits onto this beast is just because for some reason the game loves giving me extra copies of this beast. So just because we need to set a target, I'm gonna make this target HP plus 800. Realistically, in my opinion, the best trait for this is gonna actually be extra attack, because the metal does set damage. So there's no real benefit to giving it like a ground enemy defense minus 60 and aerial enemy defense minus 60, just because it does set damage. But if you do set damage with extra attack, that means you'll get 2 attacks pretty much with set damage. So even if the enemy is super strong, it'll still take the same amount of damage. If their defense is really high, again, same amount of damage. So we rolled poison resistance, and just for theory purposes, we're going to accept this poison resistance, because I said in an earlier video, I think that if you accept a trait, the frequency of it goes down. So just like how people are always rolling in for extra attack, if they get it, the frequency will go down. Again, it's probably just chance. It's probably just me overthinking. But I'd like to hope that I'm thinking something right here. So this is not going to be guilted, but this is another attack metal, mainly for raids or really long extended fights. So we're gonna, again, tier 2, we're gonna try and roll for ground or aerial enemy defense minus 60. So our trait roll is ground. Wow, okay, nice. Alright, so let's go ahead and give our non-gilted Cloud ground enemy defense minus 60. Very nice addition there. If only we could get him gilted. So now we have some Valor Form Soras here. So the first Valor Form Sora I have has aerial enemy defense minus 60. This is another attack medal, so on this one we're going to aim for ground enemy defense minus 60, but we already have it. I totally didn't know that that was coming. Totally forgot. So in this case, what we're going to do is we're just going to give it an orb and pretty much ignore the trait roll because we have our two most favorable traits on this. We just have to gilt the second one. So we get strength plus 1,000, which is good, but not better than ground. So let's go ahead and skip the strength plus 1,000. And we have to level this one up, unfortunately. Or we have to evolve it just because it has 3 orbs. It has the maximum number of orbs a 5-star can have. So we have to level it up, give it the other 3 orbs, and then we also have to level up this one here. Sorry, I meant to... You know what? Actually, we're not going to level this one up. We're going to wait until we get more of this guy, make it 2 orbs, evolve it, and then just slap it onto the 6-star one there. Alright, moving on to our next medal. We have a Cloud. We have a Kingdom Hearts Cloud. So, I don't think I care about the traits on this one because this one has ground enemy defense minus 60, and this one I believe has aerial enemy defense minus 60. So, let's just do a fun run. Let's just roll for something. Currently, it has damage and rage, which is probably like the 3rd best thing. Alright, so let's go ahead and just roll a trait for ha-has. So our trait roll is gonna be strength plus 1,000, which is a solid candidate for this medal. But you know what? Yeah, I'm never gonna use damage and raids on this. I'm never gonna raid with this medal. So let's go ahead and replace it with strength plus 1,000. Very nice. So now we have a bunch of clouds with ideal traits. So now we are going to gilt our second KH2 Leon B. It has aerial enemy defense minus 60, which is really good. It is good for red to have aerial over ground sometimes just because there are so many green enemies that are aerial. So you have like soldiers, like gargoyles, the black gummy copter fleets. So our trait roll comes out to, ooh, wait a minute, 44, oh, tier 2, never mind. 44 is pretty good for tier 2 because it's a maximum of 50, I totally forgot. So for our trait roll, we get aerial. Okay, for theory purposes, again, we are going to refuse this one in hopes that it ups our statistics for getting it later. Alright, so that was good. That was really good. So let's go ahead, check out what our next medal is. Our next medal down the roster is going to be Timeless River Pete. So on our first gilted Timeless River Pete, we have aerial enemy defense minus 60. Just like with the Kingdom Hearts Cloud, we're going to see if we can get ground minus 60. So currently it has max HP plus 800. Let's see if we can change that. Alright, so for our trait roll, we got strength plus 1,000. Not what we're looking for, but as an attack medal, this is definitely better than max HP plus 800. So let's go ahead and sub that in. Alright, moving on. We have our next medal is going to be... What else we got? What else do we got? What else do we got here? Huh. Am I out of red? Is that all the red that I wanted to combine for now? Yeah, I guess that's all the red I wanted to combine for now. Next, we're going to do Mulan. Now, Mulan is not a good medal because it is, unfortunately, a really low multiplier. So we are going to pretty much just roll for a trait. Just like the other tier 2 medals, we're going to try and aim for that ground enemy defense minus 60 or that aerial enemy defense minus 60. So here's our trait roll, and for Mulan we get aerial. Wow, okay. Yeah, we are going to accept it, just in case there's ever a mission where it becomes relevant. So again, it's a damage pushing metal. Giving it damage pushing traits is really, really good. Alright, so let's go ahead. Our next metal we are going to roll is going to be Peter Pan. Okay, so this Peter Pan currently has strength plus 1,000 on it. Just like the other ones, we are aiming for that ground and that aerial here. So let's go ahead and roll for our traits. I guess first we get the guilt roll, and it comes out to 40. Okay, so plus 4, that's pretty good. That saves me a few mirrors. But for our trait roll, though, we get strength plus 1,000. Okay, same trait, not bad. So let's go ahead and we're going to accept it. We're going to accept it, and then we are going to try one more time for that ground and aerial minus 60. So we get for our guilt roll 40. Okay, same number, not bad. And for our trait roll, we get max gauge is plus 2. Now again, this is an attack metal. It is not a buffer metal. It is not something that you just put on there for multi-purpose. So we're going to go ahead and skip the max gauge is plus 2 there. Alright, so moving along. Am I willing to sacrifice this another Peter Pan? You know what? Yeah, Peter Pan's kind of irrelevant. Let's go ahead and evolve this one. We're going to keep you locked, but we're going to evolve you. Alright. So again, we are aiming for the ground or the aerial minus 60. With the green metals, I believe it's actually better to get ground because they have... Magic metals have, I think it's mainly ground. I could be wrong. 49%, 1 mirror away. Totally worth max guilting that. I stand corrected. Actually, if I remember correctly, magic is split between aerial and ground enemies. So either or on a green metal would be acceptable. Again, this is an attack metal. We're going to skip defense plus 2,000 and move along. Alright, so our next metal we are going to guilt is going to be... What do we got? What do we got? We have a Master Form Sora here. Now, it currently has max HP plus 100, which is not bad, but we could do better. So, again, just like the other tier 2s, we're aiming for the ground or the aerial minus 60 here. So, we roll into defense plus 2,000. Alright, we're going to say... We're going to say no to that. We're going to say no just because HP plus 800 is a little bit more versatile. So let's go back. And our next one is... I really don't know what to do with these nominees because really the only good trait that anyone could possibly get on them is probably defense plus 2,000. Or pretty much any sort of like buffer-ish trait. Like, for example, max gauges, HP plus 800, defense plus 2,000. Those are pretty much the most ideal traits for this, just because it's a semi-buffer metal, sort of, because it copies enhancements. But yeah, pretty much this one can get any trait that's not an attack trait, personally. So let's go ahead and roll for our nominee and see what we got. Alright, max HP plus 800. I can accept that. So let's go ahead and switch that out. For people who are having a hard time with some missions and need to honestly just wall up, this is a fantastic metal, especially for boss fights, because boss fights usually come with some sort of pre-buff. So copying that buff and then erasing it with some kind of dispel was a very fast way to get through the game towards its middle stages. Alright, so I did clean up this area a little bit. We are going to roll our Moblian pals with a few of the ones that I got from way back in the day. And the trait we're aiming for here is either HP plus 800 or defense plus 2,000 or max gauges plus 2. Pretty much our buffer metal traits. So we get a re-guilt roll, re-roll on the guilt. It comes out to 48, so it's only 2 away. And then for our trait roll, we get poison resistance. All right, not bad. Again, because this is this metal actually has a Suna on it to cure itself of any status ailments. But again, we're gonna keep rolling. Poison resistance, again, not bad. Any of the resistance traits on this metal are not bad. Because, again, you're trying to avoid getting any sort of debuff or any sort of status ailment. But if you do, this metal covers for you. Alright, strength plus 1,000. This is not an attack metal. We're going to go ahead and skip that strength plus 1,000 here. Alright, moving along to our next one. So we are going to roll for... Alright, 48% guilt. And then we are going to get for our trait... Poison resistance plus 20. Again, not bad, not good. It's pretty neutral, but it's okay. So let's go ahead and roll 3 more times on this guy. Just clear out some inventory space. Let's actually do this just a little bit faster and just speed through things. Alright, so for our traits, we got poison resistance again. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and accept that just for fun. And we got 2 more. Let's just speed through them. Our guilt roll is going to be 48. Okay, and our trait roll is going to be max gauges plus 2. Which is more preferable because this metal is pretty expensive. Alright, so we got our max gauges plus 2 on there. The only other thing I could possibly think would be better would be, in my personal opinion, probably HP plus 800. But max gauges is also a very solid choice for people who are using this metal. Alright, so we got that guilt roll of 48 and a trait roll of ground enemy defense. No, we are... It is not an attack metal. We are going to refuse that ground enemy defense here. Alright, moving along. So now... Oh, we can guilt our Bellmetal. After so long, we can finally guilt our Bellmetal. The best traits for this guy, in my opinion, are the buffer metal traits. So we are going to say max gauges plus 2, or HP plus 800, or defense plus 2,000. Because really, if you're casting Dispel, it's in order to remove enemy debuffs, meaning you probably want to survive a few extra turns. So defense plus 2,000 is a solid trait here. Unfortunately, strength plus 1,000 is not. So let's go ahead and move along to our next one. And for our trait roll, we roll into strength plus 1,000 again. Alright, let's go ahead and just accept it. Get it out of the way. Alright, we got 2 more rolls, and the third one's going to be guilt. So let's go ahead and pass this. And our trait roll is going to be defense plus 2,000. Nice. Alright, just like what I was saying before. If you're using this metal, it's likely to debuff, and so it's a solid choice, in my opinion. The only other situation I could think of using this metal, it would be to debuff an enemy's defense, which is also good. But, oh, here's our guilt roll. Wow, okay, max right off of the bat. Alright, so let's go ahead and screenshot that, and screenshot that. Alright, very nice. And our trait roll on this metal is going to be max HP. For purposes of if you're using it against something to debuff their defense, I'd actually say max HP plus 800 is better than defense. So I'm going to go ahead and replace that there. Wow, that was impressive. Straight to 100. Sorry, that was an accidental screenshot. Alright, moving along. What are we at? We are at 18 minutes. You know what? I'm going to cut this video here and continue it on as a part 1, part 2. Hopefully you guys stick around for my explanations as well as see if I get some awesome guilts or traits. Till next time, guys, take it easy.